Well, finally, I'm compelled to ask, who should be empowered to regulate digital transmission on vehicles such as Facebook to provide protection against transmitting personal IDs and information across the network? Is this something to be taken on by the private sector? Should it be the responsibility of government, since it affects the public welfare as a whole? Well, since you already made some referencing to that, Ms. Strong, would you elaborate a bit?
Sure. I would say the government should regulate transmission of private information on Facebook as it pertains to commercial use. So for any corporation or commercial interest making use of personal information, it should be regulated by the same privacy rules as credit card companies, etc. For personal use, I think it should be regulated privately. I think people should be able to control what they put out there of their private and personal information, but that as Facebook becomes more and more a commercial application, that should be regulated by the same agencies that regulate private information in commerce.
Well, does anyone think about the fact that there's record now of corporations monitoring employees when they go onto Facebook, only because their rationalization is we're losing productivity? Mr. Seymour actually spent 2 of his 8 hours today Facebooking instead of working.
Got caught again. I think that in the private sector side and the commercial side, when you go into a workplace, they can set the rules that they want to set, and that's the price you pay. I mean, you don't have any due process, and in the private sector, a lot of things that happen in the public sector would never occur. And as long as you know going in that they're going to look, then you've got to know that they're going to be looking. You got to be careful. School setting, I don't know. I mean, we joke about it all the time here that, oh, there's cameras everywhere, and the kid's like, what do I care? Well, wait a minute. Some kids say it's invasion of privacy. If they found out that they were monitoring everything they did online, which I'm sure they have the capability of doing, maybe it would have an effect, but maybe it wouldn't. Maybe if a couple kids get busted for something silly and say, well, how'd you find out? And they get the word out there that, hey, they're watching us, maybe it would cause kids to, draw back, at least at school. At least at school. I mean, that doesn't mean they're not going to do it at home. That'll still happen.
What do you think, Kate?
Well, I think it's important that just, again, people be careful with what they post online and how often they're going online. I mean, if you're in the workplace, definitely it's up to your employer, and you shouldn't even be doing that stuff in the first place. So it all comes back to how you conduct yourself as an individual and the respect you have for the institutions that you're working at as a whole.
Nick, any final thought you'd like to share?
Yeah, I have one. I think it would be helpful if you have like a business and they have like the final look at your Facebook or another thing like that, or if you're a student, the school has a final look, because then when you're about to type it, it will make you step back and really think like, they're about to see this, is that what I want? Will that have any consequences to it? And then I think that will help them give another like extra second of thought before they actually say it. As before, now we know no one's really watching, I'll just say it, it won't really matter, but it really does, and the really watchful eye over it would help.
So the cyber world interjects itself into the real world very quickly. Well, on that note, I want to thank our panelists, Mr. Seymour, Ms. Strong, Caitlin, and Nick, for participating in this discussion about an issue which must, in their time, be addressed. I speak on behalf of us all when I say thank you for joining us. We hope our conversation has provided a meaningful dialogue for the vitality of concern we should all share for digital citizenship. Please join us again in our next episode of the Masick Report. Good day and good luck.